844-770-3776. How many brackets do you make, and how many is that appropriate threshold? Once you get past X, it's a little obsessive. I'll open it up right now. I make 25. I max it out on ESPN. I am playing the odds game. Warren Buffett is being generous enough to donate $1 million out of whatever his net worth is at this point. It's a lot with Berkshire Hathaway. I'm going to play the odds and multiply it by 25. And you're more of a, what word have I been using? Purist?
No, I guess purist, I'll take that, because here's the thing. You have one bracket. You have your integrity bracket.
I care about one of them.
You care about 25. You've been walking around here watching this Louisville and Creighton game to this point.
I couldn't be less stressed.
Does not worry me at all. I'm going to still be perfect at the end of this. That takes all the fun out of March Madness. You have one pick, and for all you that take 25 or 5, 10, 15, what are you doing? How are you having fun watching these games?
You have two, by the way, so let's be careful with the,
Why do I have
one
two?
and done.
Why do I have two?
Everyone? That's fine.
We have a group over at ESPN Beaver Dam, and we're doing a bracket challenge. And yeah, I want to maximize my odds of winning money. And what have I told you since the beginning? I haven't even opened that one up. I couldn't tell you who's winning. I have no clue. I have one bracket that I'm going to keep looking at, and I'm going to sink or swim with it. I might be part of the 5 percentile of America.
So what did you just say there? You're in a group, and there is a 2-bracket max, and you used that max to maximize your odds and win money. All of the, you could go on any platform, but I believe it's with ESPN, all of the ESPN Bracket Challenge participants are essentially in one big pool, and if you do win, Warren Buffett has been doing this for like a decade now, you are winning $1 million.
How do you take pride?
In that
How do you
group,
have no
the max
shame?
is 25, so I'm exercising
Do you
the max.
have no shame?
Let's get a third party in here. Hunter, is 2 too much? Is 4 too much? Where do you draw the line? I'm assuming it's before 25?
It is well before 25. Like, you're a disgusting human being.
I
You should be
appreciate
in
that.
jail.
Thank you.
Like, just do one bracket. I can't stand this because it's like I constantly have to hear people talk about, oh, yeah, well, you know, in this bracket, like I'm doing this, but this other one, I've got this one. Like, it takes away any of the joy and the skill. It sucks right now that Louisville's down 49-34 at the half to Creighton, and I've got Louisville in the Sweet 16. It sucks. I'm in pain right now, and we're in game one, but you know what? I'm having fun, and I would rather ride a roller coaster of emotion than just sit here even keeled because I'm like, yeah, I got 23 other ones that are doing just fine, so I don't care.
Well, Hunter,
Disgusting.
going off of that, because here's the thing. Like, what happens then if you have 25 brackets and you do pick that 16 seed? You pick Farley Dickinson to beat Purdue. You don't get to take pride in that because you had it in one of your 25 brackets.
All you're doing is playing the odds. You're not actually doing anything that involves any level of skill.
No.
You
He's
don't get
proud
to
of
be
that.
happy about it. You're not allowed.
He's over here fist pumping.
You just said you're stressed about the Creighton game, and I would be too if I only made one bracket.
But the roller coaster is way more fun than being a nerd trying to play the odds.
I think I will go through the roller coaster when it's down to like, oh, you've got 2 left, and then they contradict each other, and I'm like, okay,
then that's
now
it,
there's
too.
only one. I'm delaying the inevitable. There will be a roller coaster. I just don't want it to happen at 12, 11 in the afternoon. I'd prefer it happens at like 4.
And that's what's great, is then he's going to look at us, Hunter, on next Saturday and be like, guys, bracket 21 has a better percentile than yours. Therefore, I beat you. It's like, no.
I wasn't going to do that, but now I might.
I know you
Just
were.
out
That's
of
what you
spite.
do. He's already walking around talking about his perfect brackets. I'm over it.
We want to hear from you. Again, the Cardless Talk and text line, 844-770-3776, streaming live here on the ESPN Madison YouTube channels, the Daily Dodge TV YouTube page as well, and then 100.5 ESPN Madison and 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam. Before we kick it to our first break, we'll let that sulk a little bit. How many brackets do each of you fill out? We want to hear from you. But also, where is that line of acceptability? Is it 2? Is it 3? Is it 4? See, you say 1, but I was even getting backup from people. I think the office consensus is like 3 or 4. Specifically when Wisconsin seems to be in it, and they're a 3 seed right now. They're a strong team. Had a bit of a slip-up going into the Big Ten tournament, got hot, lost a bloodbath to Michigan, right? But there seems to usually be, these pools that we're taking, your main one, or your gut check, Chrissy Birdsall called it that, where pools come out, or the brackets come out,
Love
and you
that,
just go.
by the way.
Right? You just go with feel, and then you kind of cook. You go into the lab, you start to look at the advanced analytics, your quad ones, you get real nerdy about it, right? So that's another one. Then you get the upset bracket where you start to take the other seeds. I think I got a couple 15s in this one. Never happened before. Maybe it'll happen this time.
How do you take any pride?
And then you have your Wisconsin bracket.
How do you take any pride
Then you
if
make
you have
21
an
more.
upset bracket? Yeah, you wanted to create another Gmail this morning to go and...
So I could have done that, but I didn't.
There's two.
Yeah.
The answer is two for acceptable brackets, and I'll tell you why. Because you have one men's bracket and you have one women's bracket. That's it. Put your name on it. That's what it is. You sign your name. These are my picks. And when I win, I get to be on top of the world because, yeah, I do look like a genius. And when I fail, I have to wear that on my sleeve. That is Wally. Wally over here made that decision. Wally is the failure in all this.
This is the thing. This doesn't hurt you, right? None of these are going to happen. It's like a 1 in, I have to find the metric, but it has not happened in recorded history. There's going to be some people who have the handmade ones that are going, oh, see, I did it. No one's done it. I'm not going to do it. I'll be out by 5 o'clock, but I lasted a little longer. That's all that matters.
Well, right now I'm about to be undefeated. Sorry, Hunter. So I'm rooting for Crate. We need them to hold on.
So that's interesting, right? And I want to get Hunter in on this. In that game, on the other end, for the team that Hunter voted for, and I had in some, I had Creighton and the others, luxury of this, right? It's Chucky Hepburn and like AJ Storrs with Kansas. There's different guys who've hit the portal. We just heard it in Wildy and Tausch. It's the wild, wild west. How do you guys feel about former Badgers who hit the portal that are in the tournament right now? Do you not care? Do you root for them? Do you vehemently root against them and go, no, you left us. We don't need you.
Pontius Pilate. I wash my hands, Hunter. I literally, as soon as you're gone, it's not that I root for you. I don't root against you. You just don't mean anything to me. You're not on my team. I'm not worried about you unless you're on the opposite side of the court in that game. That's the only reason I have any care at all.
See, if they go out and they start to play well early, like Chucky did at Louisville, then I'm kind of like, oh, awesome, good for him. Like, he went and got more money. Like, that's good for him. But if you go and you chase the money and you do absolutely nothing like AJ Storr, I'm going to mock you. I'm going to laugh at you. So it's all dependent on what they do early on in their season. If they're great, then awesome. I'll cheer for you. But if you leave and you suck, then, nah, I've got to make fun of you now.
There's
That's
not
fair.
a little bit of that almost frustration, though, that if they are going out, balling out elsewhere, that you're like, hey, this kind of hurts watching him go in the NCAA tournament and go on a run to the Sweet 16 Elite 8. Or you're seriously taking pride in that still?
Yeah, because, I mean, the Badgers are still doing really well this year. Mm-hmm. Like, with or without them, I think this Badger team would have been where they are. So it doesn't really matter that much unless they play them head-to-head.
Yeah.
So that's where I'd be like, okay, no, I don't care. Like, I want the Badgers to win this one. Yeah.
Because as soon as that happens, if the Badgers do fall, because 63 teams will be losing in the next 3 weeks, only one is going to survive.
And I have 25 brackets, so I'm
yeah,
accounting for
you
a lot
have
of
basically
them.
half the field
Got
winning
about
it, so
5,
you're
6
safe.
champions.
Unbelievable. But no, so if they end up winning and beating you head to head, that's where that's the only time I think I'd have any care whatsoever. Otherwise, I'm an Ohio State graduate and they are awful, pathetic. I'm not rooting for Ohio State transfers because my team's worthless. They're out. They're dead.
I think I'm closer to Hunter on this one. It depends on how the breakup went, right? Like Chucky, he went to a Louisville team. I just looked it up. They were 8-24 last year. There were a lot of people, once he hit the portal and decided to take his talents over there, going, I mean, he'll still be a starter. He'll probably get his. I don't know how much they're going to win. They went from being 8-24 to being 27-7. And if you ask me, got robbed and shouldn't be an 8 seed, although they don't look very good one half of the way through Creighton. But then you look at the AJ Storr breakup, and it wasn't so much the breakup, it was the pursuance of money. A few teams got in the NIL battle and started to kind of...
It's new world, baby.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the Connor Essegian one, I know Nebraska's not in it. I would be rooting hard against them. That was another tough breakup where it felt like he was going to be the future, didn't exactly get the role he was looking for, and he was out the door before we knew it. So I think it depends on the breakup. If they left on good terms, Chucky, I have fond memories of Chucky. Remember, there was the game winner against Purdue a couple of years ago, freshman phenom, gave us a couple good years, and then went to a program that wasn't in a very good spot, and there's other reasons that they were elevated, but he's the main reason that they're not only in the tournament, but in pretty good standing.
Well, I know we're up against a break, so the last thing I'll say on this is that you talk about hey, well, this guy did so much for the program, all this great things. This is a Badgers team. I was stunned going through this. Again, this is kind of first year I'm back in Wisconsin, really diving back into this program. They haven't made it out of the first round in years.
Nope.
This isn't a team that is that mainstay in Sweet 16 anymore. So it's oh wow, you had a regular season game winner. Yip yip hooray. Congratulations. Now I'm supposed to throw the guy a parade and root for him?
Hang the banner.
Okay, apparently hang the banner.
So let's kick it to break, and then when we come back, we will talk Badgers. They take on Montana. It's a 3:14 matchup from Denver, and we were doing the time zone thing with Molly Brown here. They're 1 hour behind us. They're in Mountain Time right now. That'll get going pretty soon. We're going to play a little game we like to call Fill in the Damn Blank. We also have some audio from the Jump Around on Keys to the Game from Josh Pastner, a former Georgia Tech head coach and now ESPN analyst who's been taking a look at this team for a little bit. He had technically five keys to not only winning today, but going on a run. So fill in the damn blank. Audio from Josh Pastner. Up next, this is the Damn Sports Show Tournament Special on 100.5 ESPN Madison at 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam.
You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Zimbrick Honda has been a proud part of the Madison community since 1973. They're your one-stop shop for over 250 new Hondas to choose from. Whether you're looking for a sedan, SUV, or truck, their selection of new vehicles is second to none. Stop in today at their location on Fish Hatchery Road and lease a 2025 Honda Passport EXL for as low as $349 per month. Or browse their vehicle selection online at ZimbrickHonda.com. That's ZimbrickHonda.com. Shop local, shop Zimbrick Honda.
UW Credit Union presents the Prep Mania Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org. Here's Dennis Semrau with the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
Our ESPN Madison UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, Tegan Simpson from Oregon High School. What's it like to be a Panther?
I love being a Panther. I love the culture here. I love the teachers here and the people. It's a great school.
You're a wrestler and softball player.
I am.
And then wrestling, how did that come into play?
So I actually learned about wrestling my sophomore year of high school through Panthervision, which is like our school's news. There was a video, they were looking for people to join, and I thought it would be cool. I thought it would keep me in shape for softball season. So I went home and I told my parents, and we went out, we got my first pair of shoes, and I joined.
And you've been to state twice?
Yes, I have.
What's it like in the Kohl Center?
I couldn't even imagine it the first time I went. It's huge. You feel super official, and the lights, the people, the mats, they're super cool.
Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment, and here's another great fundraising event in Madison.
Get ready for the ultimate culinary showdown at Concerts and Cuisine, hosted by the Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra. On Sunday, April 6th at Monona Terrace, top local chefs go head-to-head to create mouth-watering appetizers, entrees, and desserts. Savor the flavors and celebrate the music of Concerts on the Square. Reserve your seat now at www.wcoconcerts.org/gala.
I will see you there.
Gruber Law Office's Thanalysis Live is back. March 29th at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Join Thanasis Adetokounmpo for a live show that's sure to entertain like none other. Last year it was a surprise appearance from ESPN's Stephen A. Smith. You never know what Thanasis has planned for 2025. Get your tickets to Thanalysis Live right now. Visit ESPN Madison on Twitter for event and ticket info. It's Gruber Law Office's Thanalysis Live, presented by Potawatomi Casino Hotel and Carbliss. Also supported by the Prisoner Wine Company and McDonald's.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
Skilled trade workers are the backbone of every community and also the Army National Guard. Soldiers trained to keep the power flowing, engines running, and in every other trade needed to accomplish the mission. These soldiers are on the fast track to learning skills that can set them up for success at home with companies looking to hire the best. Their resumes are being built through their paid training and part-time service. Find out how you too can learn a trade profession by visiting NationalGuard.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
This is Madison's new home of Milwaukee Brewers baseball.
Churiel, a high fly ball. Back, track, by Bye-bye, baseball!
100.5 ESPN, your new home of the Milwaukee Brewers.
I got the magic in me. Every time I touch that track, it turns into gold. Everybody knows I got the magic in me. When I hit the floor, the girls come snapping at me.
You're listening to or watching the Damn Sports Show Tournament Special with Corey Sparks, Wally Lukashitsky, Hunter Vaughn. If you are looking for a one-stop shop for all things sports cards, you can head on over to Real Sports Cards in Waupun, or you can give their app a try, whether you are into sports cards, Pokemon cards, or anything in between. Real Sports Cards in Waupun has you covered. With live breaks streaming right on the app, you can grab individual cards on the go, be a part of a group, and watch for your favorite players and teams. As the packs get opened, go to the Apple or Google Play Store today. Look for the orange logo and take your collection to the next level with Real Sports Cards. That is your local resource for all things sports cards, Pokemon cards, and more. I'm trying to think of the distance from Madison. It's about 10, 12 minutes north of Beaver Dam, so we're probably around the hour range. But Tom and his team are great over there if you haven't tried them out yet.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why you have that app, too. Don't have to be there, and you can reserve your teams. That's special. Anytime you have one guy, like I'm a Raiders fan, get me my Raiders guys. Bring it on.
844-770-3776. That is the Carbless Talk and Text line. Less is more. We want to hear from you specifically. How many brackets do you make, and what's that acceptable threshold? If you make more than X, you are a nut. I would assume your number is lower than 25 because even though those around the office seem to be hovering around that 4, 5, 6 range, when I bring up that I maxed out ESPN, haven't been getting the most positive reception. We'll flip over to the Badgers, and this is Fill in the Damn Blank Tournament Edition. Essentially Mad Libs. We're going to have you, the listeners, fill in the damn blank with us, but also Wally and myself have answers for each one. And we are going to first kick it to a clip from the Jump Around with Jim Rutledge and Pablo Iglesias. They had Josh Pastner on, former Georgia Tech head coach, now ESPN analyst. He gave 5 keys to Wisconsin not only winning today, but making a run in March.
I think this team can make a run and win games in the tournament. Why? Few reasons why. Here's my reasons. Number one, they defend without fouling. Okay? Number two, they don't turn the ball over. Number 3, they are fundamentally sound at everything they do. 4, they offensively, they make threes. They make threes, and they make threes at a high clip, and you have perimeter players in Blackwell, Tonje, and Klesmit being able to make those threes. And then lastly, they make free throws.
5 great points there from Josh Pastner. We'll review those again. Our options for the first part of Fill in the Damn Blank here. We're going to say the most important key is blank. We have playing defense without fouling, no turnovers, or minimal turnovers. Fundamentally sound, kind of goes across the board there. 3-point efficiency, and we see this happen all the time in this tournament. Most tournaments. Comes down to free throws, especially as you get further and further along and teams start to play the foul game. Wally, I'll let you do the honors. Most important key to Wisconsin going on a run beyond this weekend is what?
I pivoted. I wanted to say D no foul there for a minute, but I'm going to switch over to free throws because this Montana team is way too small. They're going to be fouling a lot. The Badgers are going to be on the line today 20 to 30 times. It's important to hit those free throws, and they've done that this year. If they can go out there, hit a 70+% clip, Montana's in a lot of trouble today.
Montana can shoot. We're going to talk about their size at different points, even throughout this game a little bit. Not a whole lot of big guys that at least get starters minutes. This team can run it, though. They shoot 36% from 3. Wisconsin's going to need to match that. If there is a place that Montana gets in this boat race with them successfully, it's going to be from beyond the arc, and I need John Blackwell, I need John Tonje, I need Max Klesmit to match that. Even Nolan Winter's been shooting nice from 3 as well. If it gets into a boat race, which we've seen them do, sometimes on the losing end of it, the Penn State game comes to mind, you need to be able to combat that with your own offense. All right, next one. Or no, let's get Hunter's answer on this. Out of those 5 aspects, do you have one that you're kind of leaning towards more than the others, Hunter?
I think it's got to be the free throw shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's just, it's cliched, but it's free points. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that we'll see all the time in March, upsets happen because the underdog hits free throws. But if you're shooting better than them at the line and you're in a spot where you've got it, they're trying to foul you late, you need to be able to hit those, and that'll put teams away. And that's something we've seen the Badgers, I think, will be able to do now this year because of that free throw shooting. It's the most boring reason for a team to be good.
You're right,
but
though.
when you're historically good, it's just awesome.
The lights are bright this time of year. Those tournament games, it's hard when you get up there on the line. Crunch time, it's a 2-point game. You got to hit your shots. You see it time and time again. That 88% free throw shooter missing a shot. We need John Tonje to not be that guy.
That is one of the reasons that you see those buzzer beaters happen, right? A team's up 2 possessions, it gets cut down to 1. Great way to eliminate Montana making any magic here in March is just make your free throws. All right, next one. Wisconsin will dance all the way to the blank. Insert
Elite
round
Eight.
here. Elite Eight.
Elite Eight. I'm telling you, they're going to beat Bama, but unfortunately for them, Cooper Flag is inevitable. Duke is just a power right now.
He is
I
playing
know
today
Hunter,
as well.
we'll talk later on who we have going all the way. I think you have Duke going pretty far, but they are going to topple Bama. This is a special year. This feels like the Badgers group that's going to finally get back to that second weekend, doesn't it?
It does. I have the Elite Eight, but and I don't have them beating Bama because I have them beating St. Mary's, the 7-2 upset in the second round. But then they're going to run into Duke, and it's just going to be another reason for Badger fans to hate Duke because I think they're going to get run out of the gym in that Elite Eight game.
Look out for the Gales, huh?
I'm the pessimist in the room. I'm going to go Sweet 16. I think they definitely get to the second weekend regardless of what this little region of 4 teams ends up doing in Denver. I've got Sweet 16, pretty chalky in that end of the bracket. I say that end of the bracket, the one I care about. I think that Alabama takes care of business. But I think if they even get to the Sweet 16 and play them close, we're all feeling pretty good compared to the last 2 years of NIT tournament and then first round out to JMU. All right, the most important Badger, not named John Tonje today, is blank.
Steven Crowell. He's got to be big. He's got to be more physical than he's comfortable playing in your shorts defense. This is a Montana team that has 2 players on their team over 6'8" that get on the floor, and we're talking 6 and 10 minutes. They are small. Their guards are small. We mentioned the fouls, Hunter. They're going to be going to the free throw line. Steven Crowell, I know he's a little bit, I don't want to say soft. That's not the word I'm looking for, but he's not as physical as you see from 7-footers. We're going to need that today. He needs to be a presence.
All right, Hunter, what do we got?
Greg Gard.
Ooh.
If this game gets tight, as the head coach, he's got to loosen these guys up. The Badgers should, and I again say should, be able to take care of business, and if you pay attention to certain numbers, win by 17 plus.
Yes.
But if this is tight, this is where it goes on the head coach to be able to figure out a way to get these guys to play the way they should in the tournament. Greg Gard's got to figure that out in case that happens today.
I like that dimension. If it ends up being a little closer than maybe it should be, Gard's been here plenty of times, and that might be the grounding force for some of these younger guys. They go Kamari McGee, my guy from Racine St. Cat's. Scrappy, does a lot outside of the box score. That's the one that everyone rallies around after a big shot, even if he's only averaging a couple makes a game, right? I remember when he didn't even foul out. It was a very controversial flagrant 2 call against Purdue ahead of the tournament. Ended up being a win. They all took that picture with him in his quarter zip in the locker room. Everyone was standing around Kamari, and he wasn't even a part of the game. I like Kamari McGee.
Yeah, that's a good pick. I think that this is good. We're going to lead into this next one. I'm going to steal a little bit of your thunder here and introduce this because this leads into my next point. But on a scale of 1 to 10, what is your panic meter going into this Montana Grizzlies matchup? Because I got to ask you guys, do you believe in jinxes? Sports
I 100% do. I would be very careful with what you're about to say.
I don't at all.
Okay.
I think the world is chaotic and random. So, I mean, I do play-by-play for our Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania. I'll be on some state games for the D1 for boys basketball. Somebody's perfect from the line. I'm going to talk about it. It's a story in the game. I ain't afraid of no jinxes.
You and me both. We've got a lot of we're vibing right here.
Yeah.
I'm agreeing with you.
I'm a fan of Wally. I think I might have to talk to the hall modder. We might have to get Wally down here. Corey,
leave him back there.
Yeah,
well, keep me in my spot in Beaver Dam.
There's no jinxes. Hunter's completely right, and I tell you what, this is going to be a blowout today. Game just started. The Badgers are going to run him out of the gym. Don't be afraid when this game is like 20-20 with 7 minutes left in the first half. That happens this time of year. But when this game is 10 minutes to go in the second half, you're going to see this Badgers team pull away, and we're going to be breathing easy, Madison.
All right. We will allow decimals. Hunter, 1 to 10. Where's the panic meter with the Grizzlies of Montana being a disruption today?
0.2.
Amen.
I like it.
I
We
mean,
are overlooking them.
They hit a 3 here early, I'm guessing, and now it might actually be a Badgers lead. Don't want to give play-by-play of a game that we're not actually broadcasting, but they could all of a sudden just have an out-of-their-head day here. So I'll give them the 0.2, but I think the Badgers are going to look like men amongst boys against this small Montana squad.
Bang.
I'm going to go, I feel like I'm the pessimist here. I'm going to go 2.7, which might feel a little high. But again, we're asking for something that hasn't happened in a bit. 2 years ago was NIT. It's been almost a decade since they made it to the second weekend. I do not feel the same threat that JMU brought last year. They were shooting the lights out. That seemed to be the 5-12 upset everyone was locking in on and going, I don't know if Wisconsin has it anymore. Also, just don't want to pull any a bad juju out there and sleep on this Grizzlies team. Money Williams is their leading scorer.
That's scary.
That's a scary name in March.
Great name.
That feels like a March name. Every time you get to this time of year, there's a name that you get into the tournament where you just like look back on it, you're like, that made sense. He's the one that would scare me. But again, you're talking about a really small guard. I don't see it happening.
Yeah. All right, that will wrap it up for fill in the damn blank here. Tournament edition. Again, if you want to fill any of those in and let us know, 844-770-3776 is the Carbless Talk and text line. Less is more. Also, let us know how many brackets you make. They're locked now. They've been locked for a little over an hour. Coming up next, we'll talk snacks. And what's the most optimal thing to chomp on while these games are going on as Wisconsin finds themselves in an early tie here. Hopefully they can pull away and 2.7 doesn't balloon up a little bit, but we'll go over some snacks and other fun things while the games are going on. What are you doing at work? How do you fit that into your day? All that fun stuff here coming up next here on the Damn Sports Show Tournament Special on 100.5 ESPN Madison and 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam.
You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Ben Brust here to tell you about why your next work van should be from Mercedes-Benz Sprinter at Zimbrick European. First off, we have versatility. The Sprinter vans offer 16 body types and thousands of ways to customize that space. Number 2, we have reliability. Sprinter's most powerful diesel engines last longer and require less maintenance, spend more time on the road and less time in those bays. Number 3, we have safety. Sprinter's safety technologies include curtain airbags all around, load adaptive electronic stability program, and crosswind and attention assist. Number 4, Van Care Mobile. Our maintenance team can come to you with routine service. Who wants to go in? Let them come to you. They work with multiple trucks on one visit. Use the Mercedes Me Connect. And last but not least, get your Zimbrick Sprinter at Zimbrick European at Rimrock Road and the Beltline, or go online at ZimbrickEuropean.com because they never charge over the MSRP.
Hello, I'm John Hayes, the owner of Goodman's Jewelers. It's been my pleasure to serve this community from this incredible store for over 4 decades. We stand upon high standards and classic traditions, pillars like honesty and integrity. Stop into Goodman's Jewelers, the longest-standing full-service jewelry store in the heart of Madison at 220 State Street. Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
Experience, knowledge, and results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Hey, ready to sweeten your game? It's time for Quick Trip's Nature's Touch Ice Cream. Ooh, making moves like the starting lineup of a championship team. Whether you're gearing up for the big game, celebrating a win, or just looking for a sweet break in the action. Chocolate, vanilla, cookies and cream, mint chocolate chip, and more. Yeah, there's no such thing as a bad pick. So why wait? Flavor doesn't scoop itself. Get your hands on your winning Nature's Touch Ice Cream flavor today. Only at Quick Trip.
Oh my gosh, Allie, did you look at Janet's roof? Ugh, it's like so flat. It looks like one of those roofing contractor commercials.
Who even understands those roofing guys anyways? I like flat roofs and I cannot lie. You other contractors can't deny. TPO way up high. I'm hooked and I can't stop staring.
If you want a roof that's worth staring at, Avondale Roofing is where you go. Your roofing experts for over 30 years. AvondaleRoofing.com.
Starion Bank redefines local banking in Madison. As a community bank with a commitment to Dane County, experience a banking relationship where your goals are our priority. Enjoy competitive deposit and loan rates and a partnership that thrives on local engagement and support. Starion Bank is more than a full-service financial institution. It's a community pillar dedicated to your prosperity. Visit one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, or Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, offering banking, lending, mortgage, and cash management.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
Used to keep it cool, used to be a fool. All about the bounce in my step. Watch it on the news, what you gonna do? I could hit refresh and forget.
The Damn Sports Show tournament special continues on 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430. ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPN Madison YouTube channel, Daily Dodge TV YouTube channel as well. Carbless Talk and Text Line. We want to hear from you. Liz is more. 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. We'll get into snacks. But first, Bill in Oregon, we were talking about the main question, right, is how many brackets is it acceptable to make? And I'm pretty sure Bill would agree that I have probably gone way over because he's going with the number 2. He says play the odds for the contests, then print 2 brackets out. I didn't do a handmade one this year. I'm kind of disappointed in that. Had a lot of options. As
you
know.
can print it out still. It's not like there's not ways to print a
bracket.
bracket.
Now I can't write it because now it's like, and then Creighton's up. Bracket 1 is what you think will happen. Bracket 2 is what you want to happen. So kind of the heart versus head dynamic.
Much more okay with that because, again, I'm a 1 bracket guy, but I did do 2 when I had to fill out for the odds this year, so I'm very in line with Bill. That's a very good call on that front. I'll allow a second bracket. I like the idea of having a head versus heart one. I can at least accept that. Mm-hmm. I feel like 2 is where you are really pushing maximum here. Because when you start getting into the 5, 6, 7, all of a sudden it's like, how are you going to look someone in the face and say, I drilled it. This is my bracket. I did fantastic. When then right over here you have 6 crumpled up sheets of paper that have just failure after failure. How do you get excited about that?
You're the one, this will relate to the snacks. You're the one who goes to the buffet and just gets 1 plate, right? Like,
no,
I'm not gonna use the options in front of me. I'm going to nerf it and just get 1 plate and I'll be fine because it doesn't feel right. Why would I indulge in more when that's literally a part of the game? The ESPN Bracket Challenge literally says you can go up to 25. I could have been the person to make a separate email and go to 50.
No,
but I didn't.
This is not like a buffet. What this is this is Halloween, and you're that brat kid that walks up to a house where the people are out and they have a sign on the bucket, please take 1. And here you are dumping that pumpkin into your pillowcase and saying, good luck, next kids. That's what you are with 25 brackets.
Because the people who do that are the ones who misinterpret the sign. Like, oh, please take 1 bucket. Yes, I'll indulge. This literally says max of 25 brackets, and I'm going to do that. There's probably
How are you having fun?
There's probably a lot more of me out there than you think. There might have been some liars that we asked today that are like, they heard your response, you're parading me around the office. Oh, 25's ridiculous. You better only make 1. And you're like, hey, how many do you make? And everyone's like, only 2. Only 2, man. Yeah, I definitely don't max it out because I can.
You often hear people do the like, hey, if you were like president, or if you were king of the world, what would be your first order of business? I would put anybody that has 10 or more brackets in jail right now.
That's unbelievable.
And I'd throw away the key. I'd forget you're in there.
What's the sentence?
Oh, no, you're done.
You'd put me in a room and I can't do anything, and I told you I'd start etching my 25 brackets on the wall.
Yeah, that's the thing. Maybe it's like a parole sentence. We have to check Hunter after every few years. Is he in there still making brackets? Does he have too many? If he isn't, then we're allowed to bring him back into society.
Do you give me a question every year? How many is acceptable now? And when I get down to your number, I'm out.
Is this just a weird obsession thing for you? I'm genuinely trying to understand the mind of Corey Sparks right now.
There's no understanding
a tough task. I appreciate you trying.
I know, it's so weird,
How's
dude.
it fun?
There's an evolution here, so I'll key in. Why am I doing this, right? I think, like you guys, I put a lot of thought into a couple of brackets, and then my mind started to go, I want to play the odds game, but I don't want to go too far. So I would stop at 3 or 4.
25's not too far?
No, I would stop at, I've thrown the care out for that, right? But I would do 3 or 4, and it would be your chalk, your upset, the one you care about, and then if Wisconsin's in the top 4 or 5 seeds, I'll be okay, I'll put them in. But then I was exerting so much energy into that just to have my heart broken at 2 p.m. to the point where I went, instead of quality, I am going to go quantity. So there is still one I care about. It probably takes me about 45 minutes to fill out. I am analyzing every possible matchup in there, making sure that even though it doesn't matter because it's going to be destroyed in an hour.
But all of a sudden, that one is going to turn into bracket 15 when it's doing better. That's the one I actually cared about. That's the one I truly tried on.
Yeah, it's a joke. We're all going to have our hearts broken in the next 4 or 5 hours anyway. But I think, and the reason I said quality over quantity as well is I don't put thought into the other 24. I literally do the random assignment weighted by seed, and then I tweak. So you look at all the 116s. I'm that's probably not going to happen again for a while.
God, the Badgers are just too big.
They're up 4.
I know it's early, but we said this before, Hunter. I'm telling you, you know how this time of year where you're going to have that game with 5 minutes left in the first half, and it's going to be 20-20, and people start getting nervous about it. But all of a sudden, you're going to start seeing that foul trouble. You're going to start seeing them physically wear down, and the Badgers are going to walk away with this.
Yeah, but again, like I said with the one bracket stance, you got to ride that roller coaster, baby.
Yeah.
It's so fun. Go with the ups and downs of a game. Get into it. Lose your mind when your team's down by 5 early on in a game. Just have fun with it. They shouldn't be this close with them. Oh, what's wrong with this team? And then when they blow them out, you're yeah, no doubt.
What was I worried about?
Exactly. That's what makes this fun. You need to just accept the emotions of a game. I hate that everybody's just got to be oh, no, it's early. Don't worry about it. No, have fun. Enjoy the emotions. See, now it's just a 3-point game. Am I getting a little bit worried here?
So does that mean you're over a 0.2 now on that panic meter? Are we at a 1 at this point?
Maybe a 0.5. We'll see what happens on this possession with this 3-point lead, because if they don't do something well, John Tonje just about put a man on a poster. He came so close to an awesome dunk. That would have made one shining moment. I'm so disappointed right now.
Oh, my gosh.
So at what point does it turn into a organic worry for you, Hunter? At what point do we get up to the 3s and the 4s? Is a second half deficit where you're going to cut it? Do they need to be out in front comfortably before the break against a 14 seed? Where are you at on that?
Genuine worry is if this is within a single digit score at the break.
Oh, okay.
Against the 14 seed, you should be up by double digits at the half when you're the 3 seed against the 14. There's no reason to be getting out physicaled or being outshot or anything like that.
I feel like the no fun police, because even for me right now, if this is a 35-33 game at the half, I'm not going into the second half oh man, the Badgers better figure it out. They're going to wear them down. Wait, this Badgers team is so much bigger. You're going to see them out-rebound them by 10+ at the end of this game. And they don't turn it over.
I think easily, right?
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, this team is so small. They're trying to play this big that's played 10 minutes a game. He's been in already several minutes. I don't know if that's the game plan. He looked invisible out there.
Yeah. I do.
Not scared.
Okay, up 5. I do want to jump into, what does the everyday person's day look like when they're watching the tournament? So that would be what snacks, what are the best snacks you're having? And then also, how do you work it into your workday? I know Jesse Nelson was saying this earlier on Wilde and Tausch, when Showalter was on. He goes, you're not taking the day off. And some people don't, some people can't, but they still find a way to integrate it. Are you sneaking the quad box on your personal computer in the corner? I kind of just want to dive into what that looks like next for those who are not able to take off work but are still going to get their fix in, because this is a fun, especially the first weekend. This is a fun 36 hours that we're kicking off right now.
No, it's the best time of year. I think I know Hunter a few weeks ago, we had him on the damn sports show when we were out in ESPN Beaver Dam, and he's on the phone and talking about, I think it was the Pacific, first round. It wasn't even the quarterfinal yet.
Oh, yeah. What was that?
It was the West Coast Conference. It was Pacific and somebody else. And I was into it,
two teams that were well below 500.
Yeah,
and you were
it was the 10 and the 11 seed.
Another dunk.
Yeah. College basketball is the most entertaining form of basketball.
Agreed.
It's not going to be pretty. It's not always going to be the best. The nerds have ruined the NBA and made it all threes and dunks. College basketball still entertaining. You have to embrace the sloppiness that you're going to see from this. Love college basketball.
There's the little integration, too, of the Jack Golkes of the world, or insert random name here that you didn't know before the third week of March, where you go, this guy is going to be in finance in 6 months, and he is cooking NBA prospects
Get the
right now.
LinkedIn profile ready.
Pretty cool stuff. So we'll talk snacks, what your day looks like, how do you integrate this into your everyday workday. Coming up next here on the Damn Sports Show Tournament Special on 100.5 ESPN Madison and 1430 ESPN.
You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Stop in for an express oil change at Fish Hatchery Road on Saturdays. No appointment necessary. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
From color-changing alexandrite to shimmering zircon and everything in between at Chalmers Jewelers, you'll find high-quality, affordable, one-of-a-kind pieces. We source straight from the gem cutters, and we manufacture in-house from start to finish. As the manufacturer, we believe in truth in pricing. Never pay more for quality and stunning, beautiful jewelry. She's one of a kind, and so should her jewelry be. While others may send your jewelry dreams to someone else to make, with us, your dreams become reality with the help of our custom jewelers, with you involved the whole way. With a staff that has over 200 years of combined experience, why buy from a place that marks up jewelry made by the thousands? When you can buy direct from Chalmers for that one-of-a-kind piece that is better quality, often for less.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
Jim Rutledge here, and I want to tell you about the Bruce Company, Dane County's premier retailer of outdoor furniture. They'll help you elevate your outdoor living space like they have for me. Exceptional craftsmanship, all the latest styles, colors, and durable materials that hold up to whatever Wisconsin weather brings. From deep seating to dining, pick your set and the Bruce Company will customize it to fit your style. Visit their furniture showroom in Middleton and let their trained staff help you bring your outdoor dreams to life. The Bruce Company, your outdoor living experts.
Gruber Law Office's Thanalysis Live is back. March 29th at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Join Thanasis Adetokounmpo for a live show that's sure to entertain like none other. Last year, it was a surprise appearance from ESPN's Stephen A. Smith. You never know what Thanasis has planned for 2025. Get your tickets to Thanalysis Live right now. Visit ESPN Madison on Twitter for event and ticket info. It's Gruber Law Office's Thanalysis Live, presented by Potawatomi Casino Hotel and Carbliss. Also supported by the Prisoner Wine Company and McDonald's.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
Summer is coming, and it's time to start thinking about your summer job. Jesse Nelson here. Madison School and Community Recreation is now hiring for many positions, including day camp and youth program leaders, support staff for individuals with disabilities, sports instructors and officials, and more. Full and part-time positions with daytime and evening hours are available. No matter your interest, schedule, or location, there's a position for everyone. At MSCR, you can make an immediate impact in the community and gain meaningful experience. Start your summer adventure today. Apply at mscr.org.
Professional volleyball is in full swing from here in Madison. Don't miss a second of the action. Cheer on Love Madison Volleyball as they make history with some of the best players in the world. Olympic medalists, NCAA All-Americans, and one of the most talented rookie classes ever. This is volleyball at its highest level. Experience the excitement yourself. Get your tickets today at lovb.com. Volleyball is the next major league.
We're on the Brewers.
They're really good at identifying talent. They're really good at developing talent.
Because we're on Wisconsin sports.
This is one of the best organizations in Major League Baseball.
100.5 ESPN.
The Damn Sports Show tournament special rolls on here on 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430. ESPN Beaver Dam with you for the next, call it 22, 23 minutes, a little bit less than that, I lied. Basically till like 1:10.
There you go.
And
drilled it.
Wisconsin's starting to pull away, so if we're playing the...
You're worried about jinxing, and you just said they're pulling away
You
up 8?
said that like 5 times
I
in the
called time
break.
of death. I'm not worried about jinx.
Yeah.
This game's over. But you're over here talking about worried about jinxing, and now
I'm
you're talking about
stating the
pulling
obvious.
away.
They're expanding the lead. That's fine, right, Hunter? You're calling it as it is, like a play-by-play announcer.
Yeah.
They're pulling away. They're establishing
Hunter, don't let
a gap.
him bully you into this.
No, I'm just saying, like,
state the obvious.
If you are concerned about jinxes, saying things like that, you're tempting fate in a way that I wouldn't if you truly are concerned with a jinx.
I will be... How do I get more nuts and bolts than that? I'll just be like, they have an 8-point lead. I'm not going to say anything beyond that. I'll be like,
There you go.
that is
Good.
where we are. I will not use terms like pulling away. Fair enough. In terms of what everyone's day looks like when they're watching, especially the first couple days of the tournament, where there are going to be moments today where there's 5 or 6 contests going on at once, which is awesome. High Point's going on a little run here. I don't mind that at all.
Is that in brackets number 5, 15,
Odd
and
brackets,
23?
Yeah, I'll have to check. That was one of the more picked upsets. I appreciate you caring about my vast amount of brackets. I could tell you're not disgusted at all.
I can't stand you.
He's literally sickening, dude. I have to deal with this every day.
I'm emotionally detached from this tournament, and I couldn't be happier.
How is that fun? You are emotionally detached.
Until I have like 1 or 2 left, and then I can kind of lock in, and I still get the experience as you, but it's probably around.
I'm not. All right, I'm ignoring that. I'm going to address what you were teasing there before, because you were asking how people engage with March Madness, the tournament here this time of year. And when you do get into that, I think it's very easy at work to say, hey, there's a boss button for a reason on these things. You go in there, you have your spreadsheets, that's fantastic, and then all of a sudden the boss walks away. Let's not kid ourselves. You don't get stuff done. This is where these are the kind of events that there almost needs to be a national holiday, because if you truly think that your average employee is not watching this right now, you're lying to yourself. I'm sitting right there. I'm flipping between games, between live streams, got my bracket up. This first 2 days, I'm worthless at work.
I think it's kind of what used to happen in school, right? Where you had the teachers who were willing to accept that nothing was going to get done, so let's just put the game on anyway, and then maybe you'll have like 10, 15 minutes of lock-in time, or not at all. And then there's the teachers who are like, I know what today is, we are not going to watch. I don't know. Like, I'm curious with both of you, when you were in school, did you have more teachers that were going, hey, let's put it on, or more that were going, we need to lock in, we're behind on Unit 4?
Wasn't there kind of a correlation, Hunter? We grew up around the same time. I felt like it was your social studies teacher. I felt like it was
because they were also the football coach, too.
Yeah, and they didn't want to teach you to begin with. They just throw you in your corner and say, yeah, we're doing group projects today, and all of a sudden you have that corner TV. Back then it was probably 20 inches that you're all huddled around, and you only get to watch for 15 minutes at the end of class, and then you got to go over to something where a teacher doesn't care about it, and you're kind of in hell looking around like, what's going on? I don't have a phone yet. I'm not like you. This new age, the kids now can just Google it at 8 years old.
So I got chewed out by my chemistry teacher because I'm a big Marquette fan, and Marquette was playing like one of these like midday games. So I was down the hall watching it like in between classes with another teacher who's a Marquette alum. And then I came walking in literally the second that the bell rang. Like I timed it out perfectly. But he was livid because the day before I had failed the exam. And he's like, you fail my exam. And then you
That's a kicker.
show up the second the class starts and you think that's acceptable to watch a basketball game like in front of the entire class. 17-year-old Hunter is just sweating bullets because I'm getting chewed out by a grown man
You got
for
to deal
wanting to watch Marquette.
stoichiometry. Instead, you're watching George Mason on a run.
Sodium chloride, baby. Yeah.
Oh, that was so embarrassing, but totally worth it.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I went to Arrowhead back when I was in high school here. So you had about 2,000 kids at this school, and we had a study hall with computers, and there were 13. So it was very, very sacred ground. You had to really have something. And I remember having to be like, yeah, I've got a big project coming up, and then going in there. And similar to you, Hunter, I remember at some point getting too into it. All of a sudden, there's a couple of the guys, a couple of the fellas walking around.
Yep.
What's going on? Teacher comes over. I don't have time to hide the screen, and I get detention for a week. I'm like, again, yeah, that was a problem in the moment. Would do it 100 out of 100 times.
I remember being in like the back row watching on my phone when Wisconsin, I think it was a 2-7 matchup. So that would have been the second round, right? It was Wisconsin against Xavier, and Koenig hit one from the corner, and me and like 3 people are like whispering but screaming at the same time, going, "Oh, we're on to the second weekend." And then
You're asking for trouble, but it's so worth it.
Yeah, kind of hard to hide it there, right? I think so. Like that kind of converts to work. I wonder how many out there just like what percentage of people take the day off, and then what are going. I think I'm at a point where I've just accepted I am going to be 60% as productive as I would have otherwise been. Things will get done. They will just take longer, and there will be gaps.
Well, you've seen before. There, like every year, you get like companies like that do vasectomies and stuff will pitch. This is the time to get it because then you get basically you can't go to work. You're home free.
That's hilarious, actually.
Yeah. So I mean, that's one of those. I mean, I don't know if I'm willing to actually do the dirty work to get that done, but it would certainly be the time of year to do it if I was going to.
Yeah, I mean, you get that taken care of. You just get to sit in the recliner, have an ice pack on while you recover, and you get to watch ball all day.
That sounds like the life to me.
Like, darn, I'm out.
I mean, the first half of that, kind of awful.
Yeah, you do have to go
Maybe
through
the second half.
a bit of a process. Once that's done, you're fine.
I'm just blacking it out. I'm not even pretending that that's a part of the equation. I just see the end goal.
There's other ones like, oh, now I should address the wisdom teeth, right? Like, I'll time it right now.
Yeah, but then you're actually in pain. With that, it sounds like it's like as terrifying as a dude to think of doing that. It sounds like they've got it down to such a science where you really aren't like in agony that day when you're watching sports.
The way that I hear it is that it's basically a just tiny, tiny little incision, like one little stitch.
Yeah.
After, and then they're snipping, and you're good. So I think, it's just there's some swelling that you got to deal with and some pain then after the fact. But still, compared to wisdom teeth, plus like wisdom teeth, they're putting you on Vicodin then, and you're kind of loopy.
You're
like I gotta be locked in when I'm watching hoops.
Yeah, I don't want to
can't be on
forget the
painkillers.
upset. You know, like you watch it, it's a 15 beats of 2, and then you wake up and you're like, did that actually happen, or am I dreaming? No, I got to be locked in.
Exactly. I love it. Vasectomies in basketball. We'll have more next when we come back in the 1 o'clock hour. Quickly want to squeeze in favorite Cinderella runs as well. And then we'll be back tomorrow talking with Gabe Neitzel, previewing the Marquette game, and hopefully reviewing a Wisconsin win. 7-point lead. 7 minutes to go in the first half. It's over.
Time of death.
Oh, boy. It's your fault if Montana, the Fighting Grizzlies, does it. All right, we'll step aside for a couple minutes, come back here on 100.5 ESPN Madison and 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Trax.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV. Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here for Kohler Services. Well, if you've been putting off your bath or shower remodel, now is the time to turn to Kohler Service. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get $1,000 off your Lugstone shower remodel and no payment financing until 2026. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation always included. Again, that's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Professional volleyball is in full swing from here in Madison. Don't miss a second of the action. Cheer on Love Madison Volleyball as they make history with some of the best players in the world. Olympic medalists, NCAA All-Americans, and one of the most talented rookie classes ever. This is volleyball at its highest level. Experience the excitement yourself. Get your tickets today at lovb.com. Volleyball is the next major league. Bring the energy and be a part of history in Madison. Join us for the inaugural League One volleyball season. The second half of the season is heating up, so don't miss your chance to see these incredible athletes up close at the Alliant Energy Center. Follow Love Madison Volleyball on their journey to the first ever championship in Louisville from April 11th through the 13th. Get your tickets now at lovb.com and be a part of this game-changing season. Volleyball is the next major league.
This is Monte Ball.
Monte steps to the right, dashes, reaches, touchdown.
You listen to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
Who is your favorite Cinderella? That's what we're going to go over for the next few minutes here. It is the Damn Sports Show Tournament Special. Corey Sparks, Wally Lukashinsky, Hunter Vaughn here with you. Just toss my phone across the room.
How about this bumper coming in, too?
Very
I was
nice.
out here dancing coming in.
We're vibing.
I'm feeling good right now. This is how you start the tournament right here.
Wisconsin's up 7, feeling good. 6 minutes to go. This feels like a crucial 6 minute because, Hunter, I believe you just said the panic really starts to ramp up. Double-digit lead into halftime. That's a non-negotiable at this stage, right?
It has to be with how bad this Montana team is supposed to be. And a 7-point game. We're down to inside 6 minutes here. Oh, no. Every time the ball goes up, if it's a team I'm cheering for and the other team puts the ball up, it's going in.
Yeah.
This is my life now. So
they're so much bigger. Yeah. It's like, I just don't, what is the recipe today? They could shoot 22% from the field again, and I still think they win.
Oh, boy.
That
would be a Cinderella.
Wild.
But they're going to out-rebound them by 15. You're going to multiply your possessions by 2 in this game.
Nice block. That would be a Cinderella. If Montana won this and then went on a little mini run, we'll talk about this tomorrow, assuming Wisconsin... I'm not going to say anything. Assuming Wisconsin scores more points than Montana.
You're such a
no
coward.
Worried.
He's so
You told me not to do it. I'm not doing it.
No,
I'm staying
but
away from jinx territory.
Jinxes aren't real. That stuff isn't real.
Fine. There is no way Wisconsin loses this game.
Thank you.
You are more than welcome
0%.
to clip that and blame me and yourselves for peer pressure.
You're the one who said it now. We're putting your name on that. If this comes back to bite you, it's on you.
If I somehow have so much magical power within me that the words that I say determine the outcome of a game, the Dallas Cowboys would win every single Super Bowl. So tell me how I could be a jinx if I haven't seen the Cowboys in an NFC title game since the 90s.
You have no control over it. Sometimes it heel turns on you and it goes the other way. I'm very careful.
Hunter, we're locked in there again. Again, Raiders fan here. I understand the pain. If we were able to jinx, we'd be doing it a lot better than we've been doing it.
So let's sit here and hope it's not Montana that's this year's Cinderella. Maybe it's a high point, still down single digits, about 14 minutes to go, or somebody else. But before we wrap up the program today, I want to get from each of you, and I've got one in mind as well, one of my first memories of learning what Cinderella was in this scenario. Favorite Cinderella run from whenever, but of all time that you've witnessed.
All right, I'll start us off. I have George Mason in 2006. That team was one of those that we really grew up with. Hunter, we're around the same age. That felt like that first one that really went over the top, went to the Final Four, beat Michigan State, North Carolina, Wichita State, UConn. That's 3 blue bloods. And they took them down in the same year before falling to the eventual champions, Florida, in the national champion. That was special. I remember pretending I was George Mason in the backyard.
I loved that VCU run in 2011. Shaka Smart, that team, the Havoc defense, and now that he's at Marquette, it just makes it even better. But that run was just so much fun. Seeing an 11 seed go to the Final Four. Anytime it's a double-digit seed going to the Final Four, like obviously it's a Cinderella run, but that VCU run, it was just something special.
It was that defense, too.
Yeah.
That press, how fast they played. They were an electric factory.
Yep, and now for some reason he can't duplicate it here at Marquette. I'm not mad about it at all. Not annoyed at all.
No spite in that one, right? I think that's the fun part. Cinderella's pretty relative. Like I think to FAU making it as far as they did. Now Dusty May is over and flipped Michigan around in 1 year, which has been really impressive. I'll try not to talk about that too much in the same environment and room as an Ohio State fan. But mine is going to be Florida Gulf Coast University from 2013.
It's a good pick.
I did not think it was that long ago. It felt like maybe 7-8 years ago to me. It's been 12 years. Dunk City was the name that they earned. First 15 seed, to make it to the second weekend. See the Sweet 16.
They were body bagging the teams they beat. They weren't winning by 2 or 3.
No, they beat Georgetown, who was the 2 seed that year. 78-68. I want to say they had a double-digit lead for a little bit there. And then it was San Diego State. They beat the 7, 81-71. Bowed out against number 3 Florida, 62-50. So that was a shorter run, but 15 seeds are not supposed to be playing competitive basketball come March, and they did more than that. So that was a fun team.
No, that was a blast of a team, especially like you said, Dunk City. It was the way they were doing it. It's why I loved Hunter's pick as well. Because some of these, you know how it is. Like you watch Fairleigh Dickinson win a few years ago, the 16 adverse 1, and then you watch them. There's not even a moment that you ever thought they could actually go anywhere.
Yeah.
That's not the same as that Florida Gulf Coast team. After that first weekend, a lot of people, myself included, started buying in. I'm like, you beat Florida. All of a sudden, you're talking about a team that could go to the Final Four.
Does UMBC count?
That's my point.
They got the one, but that was historic, right? They were pioneers in being a 16 seed to do it, and they beat Virginia by 20.
And then Virginia goes and wins the national title the following year.
Yeah, it's kind of like those Nova teams that you always felt like were going to make it to Elite 8, Final Four, and then they'd bow out early. And then, of course, the 1 year I doubted them, they went out and won it all.
Oh, yeah, and Purdue did the same thing. They almost did the same thing. They went to that national championship. Crazy. We haven't seen a national champion from the Big Ten still, going back to that Michigan State team in 2000.
Seems to be a curse. All right, we'll wrap it up with this. Got a couple minutes left. Most likely Cinderella story this year. Anybody standing out? Fun mascot, experienced coach, standout player out of a mid-major conference? Anybody that you're really voting for and pulling for this year?
I'll tell you what, Hunter. I have High Point, I'm pretty sure, going to the Sweet 16. I think McNeese State, I had beating Clemson as well, and I thought we'd have a 13 maybe do it. They're down 6 right now, about halfway through the second. I'm starting to sweat it a little bit.
Yeah, that's understandable, but again, they're a lower seed. They just got to keep it close, get into that second half, keep it a close game, and then they'll be fine. I really want Yale to make a run. I didn't pick them to, but I love it when the Ivy Leagues make runs. That's just so much fun. A bunch of nerds who are going to be running Fortune 500 companies, just balling on guys. Love it.
That Cornell went to the Sweet 16 about a decade ago, too, and they were another fantastic story. That's a great call, Hunter.
The Princeton win when they were, I believe, a 15 seed was a lot of fun as well. I think I'm with you on High Point. I don't know. They're playing Purdue at the moment.
If you're with me, that makes me a little nervous. I've got to be completely honest
with you. Well, I've got
a
few brackets for them, and then I've got most of them for Purdue. I can tell you that much. That's probably like an 80-20. If High Point comes back and wins this in the second half, we've probably got about 6 left.
I'm so happy we get to end with me telling you you belong in prison again.
What's my number next year? What am I allowed to do? I think I could justify 4.
Yeah, we need to wean you off. I think we need to look at you getting something go down to 15 next year.
All right. Well, we want to thank you so much if you were listening on 100.5 ESPN Madison or on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPN Madison YouTube channels, Daily Dodge TV as well. Had a lot of fun previewing and responding to the Wisconsin game. Up 9, 3 minutes to go. We'll talk some more Marquette tomorrow. They've got a 7-10 matchup, and we'll bring in Gabe Neitzel. Thank you so much for listening. We will catch you tomorrow here on 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam.
Ben Brust here to tell